Well, it's tonight an I-Team investigation in the wake of that deadly New Hampshire motorcycle crash. The registry has been trying to correct some big problems after failing to suspend the license of a truck driver who was involved in that crash. Now, the I-Team spoke to a Tewksbury man who says he was stunned to be told that his right to drive was suspended for a violation he got nearly 40 years ago. Here's Chief Investigator Cheryl Fiandaca.
I didn't get a warning. I didn't get any kind of a letter, just to say my license is suspended.
For 38 years, Norman Lalonde had a Massachusetts driver's license. But a few weeks ago, he got this notice from the Registry of Motor Vehicles.
The first thing it says, suspension of driver's license, right to operate. And it says, why did you receive this correspondence? And I started reading that, and I see the violation date was 1981 in Maine.
Norman was just 18 years old in 1981. He was driving a beat-up VW van like this one when he got stopped by the police for operating under the influence. He says he paid all of his fines, but didn't remember having to take an alcohol education course. And for nearly 40 years, no one else did either.
To hit somebody like this, it's like, wow, what a punch.
Norman is one of thousands of Massachusetts drivers who recently had their licenses suspended for out-of-state violations dating back decades. The RMV began the massive suspensions in June after 7 people were killed in a New Hampshire crash involving a commercial driver whose license should have been suspended for a drunk driving arrest in Connecticut weeks earlier. The registry was widely criticized after admitting it was notified about the arrest through a national database, but failed to pull the truck driver's license. In Norman's case, the 57-year-old says he hasn't even had a traffic ticket in more than 20 years. But the RMV tells us it has a lifetime look back on all drunk driving suspensions.
I'll be relieved when it's straightened out, but it's just, I don't think it had to happen like this.
To straighten this out and to get his license back, Norman has to take a 3-day course in Maine and pay a reinstatement fee.
My wife has MS. She can't really drive. It's very infuriating. I have 3 kids. I try to make a good example, and it's a kick.
The registry tells us Norman does not qualify for a hardship license, and his only recourse is to appeal. In the meantime, he's scheduled to take the driver's ed classes and has 5 new points on his license, which means higher insurance rates. Cheryl Fiandaca, WBZ News.